Swan Lake, distressed princess. Okay. So if you got here from chapter 1 or 2, comment down below how much you like it, I guess. I returned to my chamber dejected. Miss Rosalind is already there. She waited hours for me to return. How long were they in the meeting? That would have lasted like 25 minutes. What's wrong, Signy? Did the king say something? I might be engaged right after my coming of age ceremony. No, I will be engaged. In fact, I have to choose my future husband during the coming of age ceremony. The princes will soon arrive. I can't refuse this proposition. Such an engagement is absurd. I'm trying to mentally prepare myself, but Miss Rosalind, I am very sad. Oh, Signy, my dear girl. If the king and the chief minister have approved, then I will have to go forward as planned, I'm afraid. I understand, but I just don't want to be here right now. I recall the attendants busily preparing the coming of age ceremony when I left the study, and my frustration builds. I'm sorry, Sonny. I wish there was something I could do. Maybe you can visit the swans for the forest and relax for a little. I don't know, man. Maybe you should sleep. Didn't you say you were, really tired? Whatever. Miss Rosalind, thank you. Don't wear yesterday's clothing again. Put on that spare palace maid's outfit. All right. This bed is yours again, Miss Rosalind. Be careful and don't stay up too late. If they just had, watches, they would never be late. But this is back when things were still simple. Where every girl says that this is the time they should have been born in. Oh, by the way, I think only, the bow tie is needed to get a perfect score. Oh, these are so pretty. I haven't played the Swan Lake in a while, so I'll show you guys 5 seconds after what you need to get a perfect score for this chapter. Swan Lake's fairly easy, so it shouldn't take too much. Okay, you need the socks you can get from Odwin, and then shoes you get from 1-2, and the basket you get from Reaching Aliotis's Goodwill level 2 to get a blueprint. Cool. Miss Rosalind covering for me. I sneak out of the palace's back gate. I feel free. I wonder what it's like to feel free. Hello there. It's you again. How are you today, miss? Are you off to visit your mother again? Yeah, she's dead, but yeah. Yep. Palace maids seem to have a relaxed work schedule. I envy you. We guards aren't allowed to leave our shifts while on shift. You are responsible for the king's security. It's much more important than mine. Hey, I brought you some bread. Much appreciated, miss. I can't wait to eat this. Yeah. The guards happily accepts the bread and lets me pass. As expected, my pauper girl act works wonders and never fails to disarm them. My feet feel lighter as I walk to the forest, accompanied by the bright chirping of birds. La la la. I'm here, my little friends. Come on out. I spin myself around while I walk, careful not to drop the rest of the bread I snuck out of the palace. The aroma of freshly baked bread soon attracts my little friends I know so well. I see your front teeth have grown even longer, Brushtail. Big ears, you're eating more than Brushtail now? I can hardly believe it. Oh, you've grown taller, Fawn. Do you raise your head so I can feed you? The adorable squirrel, rabbit, and deer accompany me as I walk along the river. We soon reach Swan Lake. Several swans swim gracefully in the lake's clear water. I wave to them excitedly to catch their attention. Hello, are you surprised to see me again? The swan flaps their majestic wings in response. The most beautiful swan in the lake leads the flock towards me. The leader of this bevy of swans is special to me. He's the first friend I made in the forest. And your best friend, if you know what I mean. Ah! Phew, what a fright. Thank goodness that black bear didn't chase me, but where am I? This forest is huge. I wish I hadn't snuck out. Miss Rosalind must be worried sick. She might have already informed father I've gone away. I'm tired and thirsty when I discover a lake ahead. I scoop towards it, and after I pluck a huge leaf big enough to scrape water with it, I drink the rest at the edge of the lake, trying to remember the way home. I stare into this crystal clear water, sigh, if only there was a river that led to the castle. As the summer day turns to evening, a cool, gentle breeze sweeps across the lake, making my eyelids heavy. Hungry and exhausted, I fell asleep. I'm dozing when something pats me on the shoulder. I struggle to open my eyes, but when I do, I see a beautiful figure. A white swan. I look up surprised. It's the first time I've seen a pure white swan. Covered in snowy white feathers, he is elegant, even princely. Princely. Foreshadowing, am I right? I stroke his feathers. They are delicate and soft at the touch. The swan nods slightly, as if aware of my actions. How wonderful you are. Will you be my friend? This time he doesn't nod in response. Instead, he kicks his feet in the lake and sending a gentle splash at me. I dip my hands in the water and splash water at the swan in a play for retaliation. He simply spread his wings, not bothering to avoid the water. All right, I get it. You don't want to be my friend. I lower my head and slump my shoulders. Then the swan raises his wings again as if he's trying to touch his head. What are you doing? The swan retreats when I walk closer. Then he points his wing at the lake's surface. Is there something in the lake? I cautiously peer over the edge of the lake. In the water, I see the reflection of my face caked in mud. Oh my god. It must have gotten there when I fell asleep. Goodness, my face needs a wash. Miss Rosalind would be furious if she saw me like this. Was that what you wanted to tell me? You're kind as any person I know. I quickly wash my face. Nightfall is setting when I remember I don't know the way home. If tonight is moonless, I'll never find my way out of the forest. At least I met the swan here, so things aren't entirely terrible. But Father and Miss Rosalind will worry if they find out I'm not home. They might be able to find my way home when day breaks. I mutter under my breath. The swan taps his wing below, flying to the right of the lake. Is there a path there? I follow the swan, walking a long time. Finally, in the last glimmer of light, I find myself at the edge of the river. Thank you so much, Swan. You must be an angel sent to rescue me. No, more like a prince. The swan bobs his head before flying swiftly back into the depths of the forest. He flew back in such a hurry. Perhaps he has family waiting for him, too. I didn't have the chance to properly express my gratitude. It's a bird, man. Come on. I carefully memorize the directions, hoping I can bring the swan a gift in the future. I wonder what he likes to eat. I'll ask the encyclopedic Miss Rosalind when I get home. That's a long flashback. I sneak out to play with the swans many times after that, and I've become increasingly familiar with the forest. I was no longer afraid of getting lost. I saw some more swans at the lake. They were the white swan's companions. They became my friends too. The swans bobbed his head at all my stories, dancing every time I learned a new poem, embracing me with its wings when I learned for my mother. Years went by. Though I grew older, the swan looked just as I first saw it. We became the best of friends. Don't you love it when your best friend is an animal that isn't human? The swans trumpet at me, surprised at my visit. Miss Rawson hasn't allowed me to visit for several days. You're confused, aren't you? I came to tell you that my coming-of-age ceremony is happening soon. After the ceremony, I'll be an adult. So she's like 18? Okay. You won't be able to treat me like a little girl anymore. And I'm about to inherit a kingdom. More like a queendom. The swans dances and trumpet in celebration. Friends never fail to bring joy. Thank you. You can't come, but I promise to bring you food and tell you all about it afterwards. It's just I won't see you as often. The swan paddles to the bank and I lean against him. He must have felt my sorrow. I have to pick a suitor at the ceremony, then prepare to inherit the throne, the kingdom. I have a sense of responsibilities that that I was about to be entrusted with, but the engagement, I haven't got much thought to it. I haven't even met the princess. As always, the swan soothes me with his wings. I look into his eyes and see that they are now enveloped in grief where they used to sparkle. My best friend must be worried about me. He's not just your best friend. I shouldn't inflict my negative emotions upon him, lest he becomes gloomy too. No, if you guys are real friends, you guys can talk about your emotions, okay? It's fine. I'll find a way to sneak out. My dear Swan, you wouldn't turn me down if I invited you to study with me, would you? It's true you're not a human, but you're way smarter. Wow. Don't you hate it when an animal is smarter than you? The swan pats me on the head, his sorrow gradually fading. Time flies and night falls once again. The swan reminds me to head home. The swan has to remind you. In fact, he escorts me out of the forest before nightfall, like usual. It's strange, but I never question it since I have a curfew. I don't want to return to the castle today. Here's where I find true freedom. My dear Swan, my dear friend, just for today, let me stay a little longer. Miss Rosalind let me out today. She won't get angry. The swan doesn't agree to my request, pushing me forward with his wing. I tilt my head and grab his wing to stop him from moving forward. The swan is frustrated, but he still manages to chase me out of the forest before night falls. I need water. The swan leaves quickly, like he usually does. I stand alone at the edge of the forest. Suddenly, the air feels cold, and the usually welcoming trees look dark and sinister. It's only a little more later than normal. Why is the forest so creepy now? A sudden breeze sends a chill down my spine. I quickly walk back to the castle. Oh my, what's that scream? I run to the castle. I dare not look back. You can hear that voice crack. My heart continues to pound wildly when I return to my room. What's that? Is there something lurking in the forest? Okay, that was it for chapter 3 of Swan Lake. If you guys like this, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, and like this video. Yeah. Goodbye for now.